glad to be broadcasting live from my kitchen. I'm Amanda, and I'm about to show you my allergy-friendly pantry. If you're new here, I am a person with multiple allergies, and I've set up the website hungrynordic.com to help people who are newly diagnosed or the people who care about them who have celiac disease or other multiple allergies that make living with allergies and eating like a normal person somewhat challenging. One of the new challenges that you'll face if you are newly diagnosed will be revamping your pantry. I remember when I first figured out what I needed to do to keep my diet safe for me, and I was excited to be able to be healthy, but I looked at my pantry and it was like, oh, that's not good for me, that's not good for me, that's not good for me, and it was a little overwhelming. I hope that with showing you what I've got in my pantry, now that I've got this figured out, it'll inspire you and help encourage you as you keep on moving forward and figuring out what works for you, that this will make it a little bit easier. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I do have the text box where you can chat open on the side, so if you got any questions that come up as you're watching, since I'm broadcasting live, you can type them in over there, and I'll check every few minutes to see if there's any new questions. Starting first up here, these are my cookbooks. None of them are actually specifically gluten-free cookbooks, interestingly, but these are just the ones that over the past few years have turned out to be really helpful. And some of them, like this is family recipes, this is my recipes and experiments, and in here there's another little folder in there with recipes that I've collected from people who I've met who also have allergies and have had good ideas. So if you keep track of things like that, then you can have a cookbook shelf customized to what you like too. One thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, the old cookbooks, like this is a pretty old cookbook, they tend to have really great ideas because they'll have a lot more information about cooking things from scratch. In our modern days, I find that a lot of recipes start with ingredients and sauces that you get from the store that already have stuff in them that I can't have. But not so with old books. My new favorite cookbook, the Nordic cookbook by Magnus Nilsson, isn't even up here because it's been out. I've been looking at it. All right, down below here are my spices. I did not organize everything before showing you guys my pantry. This is the real deal, how it normally is. If you've got any tips for how to get a spice rack organized in a pantry like this, I could use some organization ideas. Go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, we've got everything here from cayenne pepper to sage, coriander, red pepper. There's baking soda back there. This is my homemade vanilla extract. One of my first YouTube videos was how to make vanilla. I think I've learned a little bit about making videos since then. Over here, we have our huge bulk purchase of brown rice flour. That's a new purchase, so we haven't got to put it away yet. There's bins back there, and we'll put the brown rice flour in one of the bins. There's also white rice and brown rice for putting in the rice cooker. Up top, there's a little container of quinoa. We don't always have quinoa, but right now we do. Oh. All right, now I'll tip the camera down so you can see what I've got on the lower shelves. This is our dry goods section. We've got lots of canned food. This right here is a canister of tapioca starch. I found that tapioca starch makes a great substitute for cornstarch. I've never had any trouble making a one-for-one substitution with that. It's been very useful. Larabar is one of my favorite go-to snacks when I'm heading out the door and I need something I can just stick in a pocket and take with me. Coconut oil, tuna, lots of canned goods. It's pretty normal looking once you're used to living with allergies. You'll find that there's a lot of stuff that feels normal that you can eat. We've also got root vegetables down there. And I just want to point out over here, we've got lots of storage containers because what we do, we used to have sandwiches for lunch a lot, and we found that it's way easier to just make a double batch of whatever we're having for dinner and then do leftovers for lunch the next day. The scale, this is a great appliance if you're doing gluten-free baking or baking in general. Anything where the exact amount of your ingredients will really make a difference in your final result. Using mass measurements with a scale rather than volume measurements with measuring cups will give you much more consistent, precise results. Down below, another thing with baking, this is a Pullman loaf pan, and this is a regular loaf pan. You can see that the Pullman loaf pan has straight sides and the regular loaf pan has angled sides. If you're trying out different recipes, keep in mind that the pan that you're using can have an interesting effect on your end results. So try different pans and see what happens. We've also got down here more tapioca starch. That's been a really great ingredient for us. And there's guar gum. Those are things that I usually open one package and move it over here. And so we keep the big bulk purchase down at the very back of that cabinet. All right, now I better get going. I hope that this has been helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. That will let YouTube know that you like this video, and it'll show you more of my videos and similar videos. Click the red subscribe button, then you'll definitely get my videos. And leave a comment below if you've got any ideas for that spice cabinet. Thanks so much. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Hey da!